If you've spent all your hard-earned cash on VR headsets and rent, like me, then maybe you'd like some free entertainment. What's up, internet? Besides this video, I hope you can find some entertainment in these free games available right now for the Quest 2 and the Quest 3. And if you like what you see here, I hope you'll see some of the other comedy and review videos that I've done on here, because if something involves VR, I've probably uploaded on it at some point. The more people that watch these videos, the more that I can upload on it, so if you like these free game showcases, I hope that you'll give the other videos a chance so I can come back to this eventually. Well, let's start this showcase strong with something that might help you fix that little skill issue in VR FPS games. This is a free training arena game that surprised me as being addicting to replay. You start out with your firearm, a magazine, and you're debriefed on the simulation. Shoot hostile targets, and press a different button that is not the firing trigger, cannot stress that enough, to release a civilian. Go through each segment and take out the targets as quickly as possible. Which I cannot stress this enough is not the civilians. I've seen what some of you messed up people have done in sandbox games in VR. The added difficulty of having the civilians in there and being penalized for shooting above a certain height is something that I enjoy. There's also full physics and weight mechanics implemented in the game that is around the level of Boneworks quality. I seem to have a lot of people in the comments that always ask me how they can be better at VR shooters, and while this will not help you with some of the snipes that you've seen me do, it does help you with practicing for some close quarters combat for the low price of $0. But if you'd rather increase your stealth stat than your accuracy stat, then you might like downloading this game instead. Welcome to the free prologue of Thief Simulator. Thief Simulator, in a short summary, is a game where you rob houses, escape, sell stolen goods, and repeat the process. It's been popular on Steam for a long time and came to VR as well. This is a free prologue that outlines the main character's backstory, serving as a promotional release so you can see how the full game operates without having to pay for it. You can experience a stealth mechanic of crouching around, multiple types of locks to pick, and avoiding cameras. It is fairly short overall, but if you like Thief Simulator and want to see how the mechanics would work in VR for free, then here's your chance. However, if the game being too short makes you a little bit angry, then you might like taking out your aggression in this next title. Rager is a game that I would describe as being Beat Saber with blades, and I hope you find it more impressive than this one I got at Party City. You load in, and as the music plays, these guys that look and shake like they're made out of physical dubstep will try to attack you. And you'll be provided with specific prompts on the method to combat these and their directionality. You'll either have to block the weapon, attack them back, or just fully dodge out of the way. And of course, there is a scalable difficulty, so if you think that it's too easy, you can make the opponents more frequent and faster. There is also a rage game mode that changes some of the game rules a bit, like taking away the need to block, but you may have multiple enemies to attack at the same time and more frequently. The game itself is simple, but a lot of fun. It really gets my adrenaline pumping and actually made me want to play it more of just past getting footage for this showcase. But if you'd rather cower in fear from your opponents than combat them, then you might like some hide and seek in this trending VR title. I will say, out of all the games on this listing, this may have the most content out of all of them. This is a game about playfully treating your closest friends like a pincushion. And as dangerous as that makes it sound, it's actually pretty playful with the style and the aesthetic of the game. Either that or the VR's finally broke my sanity and this game is really messed up, but I just don't see it yet. A few people may see the mechanic of moving around with your arms in the infection type game mode and compare it to Gorilla Tag, which is a fair comparison. The main goal in the primary game mode is to go around the map and hit your friends with needles to infect them, because in this game you somehow ended up in the Muppets universe. And no matter how many times I ask, the needles are not filled with anything that would make you feel good, which is, I feel like, something I shouldn't be saying on YouTube, but whatever. And there's also a creative mode where you can build with your friends to your heart's content. But there is a distinct aspect of this game that I think really sets it apart from Gorilla Tag and the other infection type games that are free on the Quest. And some people might like this mechanic, improving on the standard infection game mode, or some people may think that it ruins it, but I personally love it. And it's the ability to have unlockable items in the game and a progression system that can affect how the game is played. The very basic thing is that everybody starts out with the ability to throw blocks, but you can unlock bouncing blocks, fireworks to launch you in the air, smoke bombs, flyable cameras, and so much more. There is a massive progression type system in the game to unlock the items to not only have fun, but also give you a little bit of an edge. You can also use their in-game currency to unlock a massive amount of cosmetics, and just to let you know, no, it is not all locked behind a paywall. Every day there are daily challenges that you can complete to unlock their in-game currency for completely free. It's a game that I was a bit unsure about, but after actually playing it, I was surprised by the amount of content in there and the amount of fun that I had. And the community in there was surprisingly friendly. I didn't just have a bunch of people yelling at me in there for no reason. But if you'd rather turn your friends into a canvas rather than a pincushion, then you might like trying out this next title. I think this is a title that will appeal to a very specific niche of people. Not everybody who enjoys an FPS game will have fun in there, but those who enjoy the idea and the concept of paintball and airsoft might. Because, let's be honest, as expensive as VR is, buying guns and paintballs and other necessary gear to actually play it can rack up a bit of a heavier cost. And with me announcing in one of my YouTube shorts recently that the Quest 2 officially dropped to $200 USD, VR has officially become even more affordable. So if you can't afford the gear to go paintballing, your friends are unavailable, it's not the right weather, or something else standing in your way, you can boot up in your favorite face toaster and try out this game with the same properties as paintball for free. However, as a free game, I will warn you there's some occasional bugs and aspects that I would like to see fixed, like how I can instantly be killed from my spawn as soon as the buzzer goes off. But I think if you enjoy the concept of paintball or airsoft and want a free game that you can boot into at any time, you might enjoy yourself. And if you want to get competitive in there, they even established their own comp league inside the game. But let's dive further into a game that has a little more variety in their style of weapons. This game is not something that I can easily compare to another, because I have yet to meet a game on flat screen or VR that offers this particular type of style and variety. It has the same standard customizations that you can unlock for different types of weapons in there, of course, but the variety in the weapons, the characters with their own abilities, and the game modes are pretty awesome. Some characters may have the ability to use a specialty weapon like a bow, while others have more situational type perks like you can see me using active camo here. The thing that I think offers the most variety in this game is that they have the same feel and layout, but with two different game modes: Adventure and Battle Royale. Go to an adventure game where you clear floors, collect loot, unlock perks, which also has a co-op in case you want to play it with some friends, or squad with those same friends and head into a Battle Royale. And with the weapons, I got to snipe bugs with a power rifle and then assert my dominance with a rainbow laser. So, needless to say, I was pretty happy. And to keep with the theme of Battle Royales, let's return to a game that is finally released. This is a battle royale that many have been calling the Apex Legends of VR. You drop into the battlefield, loot various types of weapons, attachments, and upgrades. There's even lootable tiered storage and lootable tiers of armor. It of course has the standard battle royale mechanics of rolling in with a squad, looting enemies, which I feel like is borderline grave robbing, and a storm that pushes everybody closer together. It also has added movement mechanics that rely on rechargeable energy, like jetpacks and grappling hooks. This game had some initial hype in its open beta when it was known as Gravity Royale, and seems to have died down since then, but if you want an Apex style game to play for free with your friends, it's not a bad download. But I will warn you, when I was recording this, I couldn't actually find any other players at the time, so unless a lot of you decide to roll in there together, the population probably won't be very good. But it does have bots that you can play against that fill in the player spaces. Now let's head away from the battle royales and back to some paint with Splatoon VR. This game is basically how I just described it, the Splatoon of VR. Shoot paint at the ground and have the most surface area covered in your team's paint color to win. And I think the devs made a good decision with not making a white paint color that I can shoot at people, because let's be honest, if they did, that would be the majority of what I would joke about for the rest of this video. You can shoot opponents, knock them out, and there's a variety of weapons to choose from. They even added in the classic Splatoon mechanic of being able to hide in your own paint and being able to go up vertical surfaces that are covered in your paint color. And for those of you unfamiliar with Splatoon, it's basically like I just described it, with rolling in there, trying to cover the map in your team's paint color. It's like a TDM, but with paint. And you have the objective of actually trying to cover the surface area rather than the objective being to capture a flag or knock out all the enemies. If you like the idea of Splatoon in VR, this is the closest that you're going to get to date, and I think you'll enjoy yourself. For this game specifically, I also highly recommend joining their Discord, because although the player base is small, they are very dedicated. And if you want to group up with people to play that can show you how, I'm sure that you'll find some people there. Now let's take a step in downgrading our graphics to Minecraft status. This is a first-person MOBA game with PvP, which, if I just spoke French to you, I would have to tell you that I don't speak French, but that the acronym that I use stands for Multiplayer Online Battle Arena. Basically the VR version of League of Legends or Smite, but with a Minecraft block aesthetic. But hey, at least it has mesh colliders. It has a pretty big map around the arena with different kinds of avenues you can go into, places where you can hide, etc. But your overall goal is to escort your tiny minions and kill the enemy's minions. Basically using the minions as cannon fodder, in a sense, to take on the damage of the tower that's shooting at you, to eliminate said tower and then move and advance towards the enemy spawn until you win. And the more you kill people, the more you can unlock different types of abilities. Like if you have the sword class, you can use it to have an air slash, to have a ranged attack, or have a dash attack where you can move forward really fast and hit multiple targets. Overall, if you like MOBA styled games and you don't mind the Minecraft aesthetic, then I think you might enjoy yourself. But if you wanted to ditch your controllers and ascend to the heavens, then you might like becoming a god in this hand tracking game. Tiny Castles is a short 4-level game where you control a certain element per level that you unleash with different hand gestures. As you go through the different levels, you have to use your elemental powers and the ability to throw objects at these little gremlin creatures that look like they came out of a Star Wars animated series. You need to eliminate these creatures so they don't hurt your worshippers, who need to travel from point A to point B and pray, but the path is littered with monsters, much like a highway on a Sunday. Once you protect them enough and they pray enough, you can advance to the next stage until you eliminate this obelisk to complete the level. As I said before, this game is very short but entertaining, especially to people that are newer in VR and want to try a hand tracking experience. Well, there you have it, 10 more free games in the books. I hope that you'll check out some of the other comedy and review videos that I have on the channel so I can spend more time making videos, because that is my favorite thing to do every single day, is make you guys happy. If you made it all the way to the end, you're my favorite person. Thank you for watching, everybody on the internet, and good night.